Okay, so I found this website called woof.com, which is basically a database of farms around the world that have openings for travelers to come and work on the farm in exchange for food and accommodations. I'm no farmer, but I love to travel as cheaply as possible. So naturally, I messaged a dozen farms asking if I can stay, and despite the insane short notice, I got a response from a small little farm in Mexico. Everything was set for me to fly to Mexico and stay on this farm, but it was quite difficult to convince myself to go. This was far out of my comfort zone. Hey, so I'm trying to figure out if staying on a random farm in isolation in the middle of Mexico is gonna be a good idea or not. You know, it's a risk. I could get there and I could be miserable. It could not be my thing. In that case, I don't know what I'd do. I don't know the first thing about farming or agriculture or soil. Maybe our energies won't mesh. There's also the slight possibility that he could kidnap me and murder me. There's pros and there's cons. There's risks and there's rewards. The majority of me is screaming out yes, but then the realistic side of me is screaming no.
I don't know. This is crazy.
Why not? I could learn something. Okay, I'm gonna do it. Let's go to Mexico. So I'm in Mexico. I'm about to go to a farm. I'm about to head over to the farm. It's about 2 hours from Mexico City. And then there I will be for one entire week without any escape. What is this week going to teach me? I am excited to see. The amount of anticipation and anxiety that I felt on that 2-hour journey went unmatched by anything I've ever done before. Like, I don't condone flying to a foreign country and meeting up with a strange rural farmer that you met on a website, but I was gonna do it anyway. Hola, ¿cómo estás? So there he was, the farmer himself. I had no idea who this guy was, what he did, or if he was gonna even take care of me. I felt like I was just intruding on this man's life. It felt uncomfortable, to say the least. So this is it. This is where I'm staying for the next week. What? Where am I? But all things aside, I settled myself in and prepared myself for my first day of farm work. So early. Good morning. So I'm on the farm. Everything is very beautiful, very peaceful. It's a nice morning. So as I explored the farm early in that morning, I noticed that this wasn't a typical farm. For example, there were no animals, besides these 2 dogs, one of which looked oddly similar to a fruit bat. But I really wasn't sure what was going on. Okay. The farmer then gave me my assignment for the day. Okay.
Ahí mismo, sacudirla.
Yes, my assignment was to pull up hundreds and hundreds of dead corn plants. I was ready to be a farm boy in a small little village in Mexico. I'm a farm boy. So I've been farm boying for like an hour now, and this pile is getting bigger. I'm really proud of my pile. Guys, I'm not gonna lie, this is the hardest I've worked in probably my entire life. I gotta say, it felt refreshing to work and actually felt useful. Overall, it was a good time, besides the allergies and the dozens of farm spiders. Look at that pile. I did that. That's a pile. That's a pile. So the sun's about to set. Day 1, I feel like, was a success. I'm pretty sore, not gonna lie. I'm so sore. My back, man, my back. So my only thing is that I don't know what this farm produces. I don't know what he makes. After the first day, I still couldn't really grasp what the purpose of this small farm was.
Bien. Hace calor.
Also, on another note, I don't know if the farmer likes me or not. I don't know if he likes me. He hasn't given me signs that he's liked me. I need signs. Overall, it was just difficult to read what was happening there. All I knew is that I was there to farm and complete the tasks I was commanded to do. Maybe I shouldn't have thought too hard. Good morning. It is day 2. I woke up with a terrible cold. Of all the days of my life that I could get a cold, this is not the day. Regardless, I'm excited and ready.
Hay que sacarlos.
Okay.
Y los traemos acá.
I thought day 1 was rough. Day 2 really tested my limits. Not only was this a completely organic vegan farm, we used absolutely no power tools. Everything that needed to be done had to be done completely by hand.
So I've been trusted to use a machete. I'm probably going to hurt myself.
Okay, here I go. Later on in the day, I started to ask questions. I was really in search for an answer. What was this farm really for?
Este es un peyote.
¿Qué es un
Peyote brujo.
The farmer then opened up and started to explain some of the plants he grows.
También tienen mezcalina, contienen unas sustancias que son medicinales,
Medicinales como
psicoactivas.
psicodélicas.
Sí, psicodélicas.
So, I don't know how to put this, but I think I'm staying on a psychedelic farm.
Let me introduce you to Silverio, the farmer. Yes, he grows psychedelic plants. And as a result, they call him a healer.
¿Qué significa ser sanador?
Sanador es conocerte mucho a ti mismo, sanarte a ti mismo y después ayudar a los otros. Presento a plantas medicinales que les ayudan a ellos.
Yeah, you heard that right. Silverio gives plants with psychedelic properties to patients to treat a whole variety of ailments, but not in the way that one might think about psychedelics. Silverio believes in the power of a microdose. Instead of giving a high dose of a psychedelic drug where one might hallucinate and in turn trip out, he gives it in a tiny microdose to open the mind, provide answers, all with the goal of providing healing.
All that.
Okay, it was a little strange knowing the details of the farm I was staying at.
They're trippy plants. They're drugs.
This wasn't something I ever would have imagined I'd be part of, but I was incredibly interested and intrigued nevertheless. This was no ordinary farm, and how I saw things moving forward in the week were definitely about to change.
So this morning, we're gonna walk up the volcano. Never in my life have I walked up a volcano before.
Silverio woke me up at 5:30 a.m. to hike a volcano. Without questioning, I agreed. Although I'm a big fan of walking and seeing beautiful landscapes, even at the break of dawn, I was finding it quite difficult to keep
This
up.
is one of the hardest hikes I've ever done in my entire life, but it's so beautiful.
And on top of that, Silverio warned me about how the trail was notorious for wild dogs who bite and attack.
Perros salvajes.
Hay perros salvajes.
And who did we run into? Wild dogs, who were about to bite and attack.
Tú ves mi espalda y yo veo tu espalda.
Son muy grandes.
Sí.
But we made it to the top without a bite. And in this very moment, I think I realized Silverio and I were actually becoming friends.
Okay.
Paso, salud.
It's my last day here. It's really sad, to be honest. It was an eye-opening experience. I worked harder than I ever have in my life.
Although it was my last day, I had one more challenge to complete.
So today, Silverio, the farmer, is officially not supervising me. I guess he trusts me. I guess I've made myself clear that I can learn to farm.
I was challenged to create an entire plant bed all by myself, and I never felt more ready. In just 1 week, I went from being negligent to booking a flight to not knowing what on earth I was going to do on a farm for a week to feeling confident in the basics and feeling at home.
All right, so here it is, folks. I did this all by myself. I did it. All of this by myself. I did this.
I did it! I think the overall message here is to go with your gut. Something was really telling me that this was going to be a life-changing experience, so I went for it.
Who's the farmer boy now? Me. I'm the farmer boy.
Looking past the discomfort, past the doubts, experiences like these are the exact reason I live. I'm gonna miss my week on that little rural psychedelic farm in the middle of Mexico. The dogs, the plants, even the spiders. But above all, I'm going to miss my friend. Thanks for putting up with me, Silverio, teaching me everything you know, and showing me a new perspective on life. Until we meet again.